Brown at the Revved Up Cafe. Colin, you're head honcho at Motorcycle Action Group. Tell us a bit about what MAG does, please.
So we're a riders' rights organisation. We're here to look after the interests of motorcyclists in the UK. As a group, we don't feel that politicians listen to what our interests are. They don't really care about us. We're here to push all the parties to find out what it is that they've got to say about motorcycling.
Now, in your manifesto, there's around 1.5 million motorcyclists in the UK. They're all voters. You've got some clear points that you're putting to all the candidates around the UK to see who's going to come out and support motorbikes. I know one of the key concerns is some have said they're going to ban internal combustion engines and the electrification. Tell us a bit about that, if you would.
Yeah, I mean, this is a particularly key issue for us. 9 out of 10 motorcyclists tell us that they are opposed to being forced into buying electric bikes. It may be that some people like electric bikes and we don't have any issue with that. It's about governments getting involved and telling us that you've only got the one option. Many riders actually see this as, the death of motorcycling as we know it.
And, more broadly, net zero, that's something Together's very concerned about. Net zero, the kind of sort of blanket impositions and what that means for, particularly for motorcyclists and car drivers. Tell us a bit about some thoughts on that. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, from a motorcycling perspective, motorcycles only make up 0.4% of the carbon emissions from the transport network in the UK. So removing motorcycles, petrol motorcycles from the road is going to have no effect whatsoever that can be measured. We're a rounding error, nothing more. So a draconian enforcement of electrification on motorcyclists is unreasonable. The bikes, as we can see from the sales figures, aren't ready yet. The technology may or may not get there in the future. It certainly isn't there now, and that's reflected in the sales figures, which is less than 4%, I think, in last year, and that's actually a decline from the previous year where it was less than 6%. So the sales of electric motorcycles is going down. It's the market telling you that these things are not ready for us yet. If a government impose that on us, it's going to put a hell of a lot of people off of motorcycling.
Well, there's kind of classic films and sort of memorabilia. We've got some of the memorabilia here, but iconographic moments for Britain, everything from Quadrophenia, we know from the States, Easy Riders, but the motorcycle has been really important and profound in the sense of personal freedom, the ability to go long distances, to make choices, judgment, and not have to be sort of susceptible to like lots of other people's decisions and fit in with all of that. That part of culture and that part of personal, I know you guys, it's very important for you, that personal freedom. Tell us a bit about your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, motorcyclists, I think, generally speaking, we've got that element to us in terms of that's one of the things that unites us as a community. We're all interested in personal freedom, personal responsibility. So it is about making your own choices, not having anything imposed on you. Yes, obviously we're part of a wider society and that has to be reflected, but generally speaking, if there's not a very good reason for imposing a restriction on us, then frankly we don't want any government getting involved.
So we have asked different candidates to come down. It'll be interesting. We've had some responses from different people. What's the main point that you want to get to hear from candidates and in this election in Clacton and across Britain on the 4th of July?
We want to hear that you're going to support us in our campaign to prevent motorcycling being killed off in the UK. We also want to see whether or not you're going to be prepared to help people coming into the motorcycling community. We see that there's a large number of factors such as the licensing regime, which is overly complex and expensive. Obviously, with electrification, that's pushing up the price of learner bikes. I think the MCIA have reported 50 or 60% more expensive for an electric learner bike than it is for a petrol learner bike. So clearly that is going to put people off getting into motorcycling. We then have to deal with the crime issue. We're disproportionately affected by crime. Vehicle theft in the country, 1 in every 4 vehicles that is stolen is a motorcycle, but we're only 3% of the registered vehicles in the country. So that makes the motorcycle something like 10 times more likely to be a victim of crime. Which isn't unreasonable. We want a government response to that. We're a group that is disproportionately affected. Why are we not getting some kind of recognition of that? There's a whole raft of policies that can be done to improve transport for motorcyclists. They're all outlined in our manifesto, which is called Move on Motorcycling.
Well, we're very interested in personal freedom and personal responsibility. They're really two crucial things. It's one of the reasons that together we're so furious about the fact that we haven't had democratic accountability, transparency and being engaged properly with consultations. We've had things imposed on us. That's why it's really important, some of the issues you're raising. It's also really important for the 37 million car drivers and for people across Britain that we need to have proper cost-benefit analysis, scrutiny and not just platitudes. So we're pleased to see you here today. We're pleased to be doing this together. The weather has been not great, even though we're in the middle of the summer. People were telling us it's going to be the hottest ever and we're having a meltdown, but all of a sudden it's raining and it's blustery. Oh, who would ever have it? Anyway, we'll be coming back to you soon. Remember, we can always make a difference when we have our voices. We're always stronger and better together.